Hello, Nick Sammut from Rushmore Painting and Decorating, bringing a product review on behalf of Trade Decorator TV. The product we're looking at today is the Festool CTM Midi, which is their newest generation dust extractor. This is the Mark II, and I'm going to give you 3 things about the CTM Midi that I really like and 3 things I feel they could have improved. But before we get stuck into the review, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified of any future reviews that we upload. Please comment if you've used it, if you've seen it in person, what you think of it, and also please like the video, that'd be great. So I'm just going to give you a little overview of the dust extractor up close and personal first, show you all of the new features that it offers compared to the older Midi. So I'm just going to give you a run through of the new CT Midi dust extractor from Festool. This is the Mark II and this is the M-Class version. I'm going to tell you or show you a few things about this dust extractor which separate it from the older model, and they're moving with the times and have brought some really good technology forward with this one. So first things first is obviously the face of the machine has this touchscreen section here instead of the old-fashioned twisty knobs which are a bit clunky and just old-fashioned. So they're obviously moving with the times with regards to that. It's got an on-off switch here which activates and deactivates the machine, and then to turn it on you can either use this manual button if you're right next to the machine, or if you have got the Bluetooth hose module here, so if you're far away from the machine you can click it and that will turn the machine on and off. I'll show you that in a minute, and that's because it's got built-in Bluetooth as opposed to having to buy a Bluetooth module for the bigger versions like the CTL 26 and above. So it's got a lot of technology built into it from factory, which is great. So we'll move around to the side, and what we've got here is a manual filter cleaning system here. So the pictures can show you what you need to do. You have it on full power, put your hand over the hose and press down on this lever 3 times while you're holding the hose down. So it's not a auto clean function like you get with the auto clean dust extractors, but it helps clear any blockages and blow any dust out of the filter, which is a really good feature for a smaller dust extractor like this. The dust filter comes out now on a tray rather than picking out the whole top half and flipping it over and pulling it out, which is another great feature because it's easily accessible. This is a blowing port, so should you want to blow a load of dust or debris away from where you're working, you simply pull the hose out, plug it in there, turn it on, and it'll act like a small air compressor style blower or a leaf blower or something like that. It's really good. The wheels are slightly bigger on this one. As you can see, they're a bit more robust than the older ones, which are just smooth and there's no grip to them or anything like that. These ones are a bit more off-roady. The front wheels are a little bit bigger on this as well, which I don't know if you can see from the video, but they are slightly bigger, which means it's better for going over any obstacles like cables and things like that on a building site. Moving around to the back, we've got a built-in cable wrap. So instead of doing it like this on the older style Midis, which I never had a problem with, I was able to do it so that you get the hose and the cable in there and an attachment as well, but other people struggled, so maybe this is a better option for them. It doesn't really bother me, but it's easily accessible. You've got the rotating thing here, which means that you can pull basically the whole cable off with one hand. It's quite hard in one go, like so, and then simply flip that round and then wrap it round like the older style CTL 26 and above. They've got them, so that's a really good feature for the newer Midi. And also moving on to the top here, thought I'd mention it, which is quite obvious from looking at it, is it has got a top on it. So the older ones don't, neither do the other models. This one does, and what that enables you to do is either put materials or tools on that or something like that, and also gives a bit of cover to whatever's inside, especially if you've got the Bluetooth module like this and that's covering it up, stopping anything from potentially landing on it or damaging it. That's a great little feature, and I think that's pretty much it from our all-round point of view. There's nothing else really to tell you about. It's a little bit longer, but we're talking minimal. I mean, I'd say the majority of the length on it is actually because of this cable wrap here. It's not that much bigger. I mean, we're talking maybe an inch over the full length of the machine, but it's still a very compact dust extractor, which is great for decorators working in houses more often than not. And the M-Class version enables you to work on site should you be a site decorator, the regulations they have for working on building sites nowadays. As you can see that it's got a lot going on, which is great. One thing I want to show you quickly is the Bluetooth part of it as well. I don't currently have a cordless sander for it. I run it with the cord still. It's on my list, but I want to show you the Bluetooth module up close and show you why it's beneficial even when you're just doing something generic like hoovering. So you'll see now. One of the really good things about the Bluetooth integration on the new Festool CTM Midi is that obviously it's built in with the machine, so you don't have to buy additional units like you do with the CTL26. You only have to buy the adapter onto the hose itself. But say for example you're working up a ladder or you're far away from the dust extractor like I am now, it enables you to become more productive and efficient because you don't have to keep walking back and forth between the dust extractor to turn it on. You can simply click the button here, and right now I'm hoovering this door down after hand sanding the beading. So and then turn it back off again, and I haven't had to move from the spot, which is great. So that obviously saves a lot of time going back and forth between the dust extractor with something like that. Obviously its main intention is to be used with a cordless sander or a cordless machine, meaning that you don't have wires and things hanging around as well, because they can be a little bit frustrating. So the first thing that I really like about it is that it offers a lot for the size of the dust extractor. You'd think that with all of the technology it offers, it would be a huge bulky machine, which isn't. Comparison to the actual Mark 1 Midi, there's not a lot in it. It's probably around an inch higher and maybe 2 inches in length longer. So you've got all of this Bluetooth technology, you've got the manual filter, you've got the cable wrap at the back, you've got all of this great technology in a very small dust extractor, which I feel make it almost as competitive as the bigger models. So it offers a lot, which is great. Second thing about this dust extractor, which I really like, is that it's got a consistent amount of power. So I've had this on my jobs now for 2 or 3 months. I haven't changed the bag yet. It's a 12.5 litre capacity, so it's not huge, but it's probably around 3/4 full now, and I have not noticed any drop in power whatsoever. And it's worth mentioning that because it's a CTM, that means it's an M-Class dust extractor. When you do lose suction for whatever reason, there might be a little bit of debris in the hose, or you might be using a very thin nozzle attachment for hoovering or something like that, it will beep to let you know that the suction has slightly dropped. So yeah, consistent power, second thing I really like about it. Third thing I really like about it is that it's compact. So as I said just now, it's almost exactly the same in terms of height and size as the older Midi, but it offers so much more and is almost as competitive as the bigger models like the AC dust extractor I have here. Is one thing worth mentioning is that you can't use this with the Planex sander like you would with the AC version, which is auto clean. This doesn't have auto clean, it's got a manual clean, and it's not the same thing, so that's just worth noting. So yeah, there's 3 things I really like about it. I just want to show you quickly the blowing function of this, because I think that's really good. It's a nice little addition. I've got a little video I'm just going to show you of it in action, cleaning up some patio with it. I think that's a pretty neat little addition to the dust extractor, which if you can't always hoover, it's good just to be able to clear the area with that as well. So I'm going to run through things that I feel that have been overlooked, and there's 3 of them. And the first thing is the filter. So as you saw in the overview, it's got this removable filter on the side, which in terms of accessibility is great because you don't have to take the top off like the old one to get to it, but it's surrounded in plastic and that's not removable. That's built into the plastic. So when you need to replace the filter, should you do, you'll have to replace the whole lot, which will be expensive, and then that means that the plastic's going to landfill, and that's not good. Festool should have thought about that a little bit better. I think that's a big oversight from them. The second thing, it's not a massive problem, but I feel that they did it on the older models, so they should have just carried it through because it was a really good little feature, and that's the cable on the back. So as you saw in the overview, it's got the wrap and then the twisty thing which removes it all in one go, but it doesn't have the cable clips to hold the cable in place when it's in transit. So I'll show you that in a little video as well, and you'll see exactly what I mean. Is the hose wrap section, which is great. Like I said before, it doesn't bother me whether I have it like that, like this, on one of the wraps, but it doesn't offer anywhere to clip the cable in once you have wrapped it, and you have to have it around like this and trap it between itself, which probably doesn't do it any favors, as opposed to if you wanted to with the older style on the CTL26 that I've got. It's got the little clip there for the hose, and that just holds it in place and stops it from moving around in transit. So I think they could have offered at least one just to lock it into place when you're wrapping it up and packing it away. And the third thing is the top. So when you're using a sustainer, you can't actually access inside the top of the dust extractor, and again I'll show you a little up close video of that. It's a little bit of a pain should you have anything inside that you wanted to access. It's obviously a bit of an oversight again. When you've got dust sustainers on top and you wanted to access underneath there, if you flip the T-lock round like so, you can't actually open it because the back of the sustainers here, those little clips, they clip in under here, so that's preventing the whole lid from lifting it up. And I'm not sure how they would go about changing that. They would obviously need to redesign that, but it would be really good if this could open with sustainers on the top. So 3 things I really like about it, 3 things I feel could be improved. Overall, it's a fantastic dust extractor for a painter and decorator or someone that works on domestics, because as I said, it's compact, it offers a lot for the size of it. So I also feel that it offers the best value for money from all the other dust extractors in terms of the size of it and all the features that it offers. Overall, out of 10, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10, and that's purely because of the 3 things that I felt are a bit of an oversight in the design process for the dust extractor. Price wise, you're looking at around £500 depending on where you're buying it from, so it's considerably cheaper than the bigger models, but also more expensive than the older midis as well. But that's, you know, you're getting so much more for your money. As I said, value for money. Yeah, 9 out of 10 for the CTM Midi from Festool on behalf of Trade Decorator TV. If you've liked the review, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button as well, and comment. As I said at the start, if you've used it, let us know what you think of it, and also please hit the notification button so that you will see any reviews that we upload in the future. All of Trade Decorator's social media platforms are on the screen now, and all of my social media platforms are on the screen now. If you could check them out, that would be great. Thanks for watching.